And to shed more light on this topic, I'm so delighted to be accompanied over the phone by Mr. Hazem Hassan, the tourism expert. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Well, speaking about Fustat, one of the remarkable places here in Cairo, what makes the Fustat Festival, Winter Festival, a significant addition to Egypt's cultural and tourism calendar?
Of course, when we speak about Fustat as a site, a historical site, it's very important because it's the beginning of the period of the Arabic and Islamic period. And of course, this is a unique site. That's why it was very important to change its status from just ruins to an archaeological site and touristic site. And this needed a lot of work for years, especially that this area was not really, needed a lot of work, especially at the level of the infrastructure. It needed a lot of work, and actually it took us years so that we could make it more interesting to be visited, to add more, let's say, trade, either as coffee shops or places for tourists, shops. And this happened really in the past years, and actually it's a very nice place to be visited. After years and years, it was really ignored as a touristic site.
And Mr. Hazem, how does this festival aim to revive the domestic tourism, especially in this area, Old Cairo?
Actually, we have to say that the work in this project over the marketing was very smart. We all know about the concert that was made by the great musician and composer Amr Khairat. This was a big attraction in order to make Egyptian people see the evolution and the development of the area. This was really great, and I believe that on the marketing level, Egypt had made large steps forward. And that's why I believe that this was an example really to be followed in the coming areas that will be developed, to be from an abandoned and forgotten area to a main area that must appear on the tourist map, either domestic or international.
So, in your point of view, what is the message does the government aim to convey by supporting events that highlights also the heritage crafts, traditions, and also music, as you said?
Of course, this is the way to develop Cairo. Of course, when we speak about the movement from moving from Cairo to the new capital city, it's a way to develop Cairo as a historical capital of Egypt, as cultural capital of Egypt. So this is a very important, of course, when we speak about the density of the demography in Cairo, of course, this was a big obstacle, especially in the developing of the infrastructure. As we managed to move all the administration, the ministries and everything, and some people, they already moved to the new capital city. This helped really the plans to be made in order to develop these areas and to make them beautiful and interesting either for domestic tourists or international tourists. And this will be very beneficial for the income coming from visiting these areas. Of course, when we make festivals, concerts and things like that in such historical areas, of course this will be a great step forward for tourism and also for the income coming out of these events and festivities.
So speaking about art, can you tell us more about this memorandum of agreement signed by the Urban Development Fund and the Azza Fahmy Foundation?
Of course, when we speak about Azza Fahmy Foundation, she is a great artist, especially works. This is a good plan because as an Egyptian artist, this will, and especially the nature of her art, that it is Islamic, Arabic, Oriental. Of course, this is a double target because first we found out that recently a lot of tourists from all over the world, they started to be interested in Oriental art, in arabesque, or in work in jewelry and goldsmith work. This is very interesting, and of course her experience in the field of the Oriental decoration, Oriental art, will help us a lot to develop the area and it's in its field, in its area itself, because this is the area where this art was born in Egypt for the first time. So I believe that the choice of Hazem as an artist specialized in this Oriental beautiful art, this is a very good choice in order to develop and to give back to this area its nature and its origin. So I believe that this was a very excellent choice on both sides, either to shed light on this contemporary artist working on Oriental art in its cradle, let's say, in Egypt.
So still speaking about art and culture, what is the new cultural and training centers in Darb el-Libana offers for trainees and artists?
Of course, this is a very good thing because we have the potential to develop the number of artists and to be specialized in this period and the art of this period. And it's not enough just to keep the number of artists in this period as they are. We need to develop them and to make them larger and bigger, and to give, of course, more job offers, and to help new young people, young Egyptians, to develop their skills and to have their own style. And of course, this will have an excellent impact on the youth, and to help them to flourish and to manage to create their own character, their own personality, and to express their art in a better way. And when you have a big variety and you have a lot of artists, this is enriching, either for the cultural or the economical point of view of this project, not only to be just limited by the number of artists we have, but to create and to make the formation of other new artists. And this will enrich the cultural side of Egypt, either or artistical.
So, you know what's brilliant about the renovation of any like central parks or other parks that we do have here in Egypt is that each time they do have this kind of renovation, establishing a new better project, a new place for people to enjoy. It's not just that, it's always establishing centers for trainees, establishing something related to culture, to art. So it's a cultural hub, let's say. It's not just a visit by the family.
Of course, when we see that we started all first with Nile Street, and we see that this is a very important area for tourists and very inspiring for new artists who are creating their own personality, their own culture in the shade of this wonderful art. Then we moved to, of course, the Nile Street and Khalili. Then we find that the work in the park of El Fustat, this is in the shade of this park. We are creating all of these, so we are adding to the potential that Egypt possesses other potentials. We see that the number of arts that we are creating with the help of these projects. Of course, when we speak about the park of El Fustat, this is a great job because it's 10 times bigger than El Azhar Park, which was something great. Of course, we must mention Al Buhra group, who worked and financed with the Aga Khan Institute a lot of work, especially in the development of the old sites that are in Al Darb Ahmar Street, which is a very great, a very good thing. And this is the heart of Cairo, truly the heart of Cairo. When the little children, they will live there, they will see the beauty of these areas and these old sites. This will make them be more interested in studying this art and to work on this art. So we're creating a new generation of artists by developing and by making these projects of renovation and restoration. So it's a very important cultural movement on all sides, either in tourism or culture, or in the near future. We will create new artists in these with these abandoned areas from that were far from the interest and the development. Now this is a new place to create our new artists in the shade of the Arab and Islamic arts.
Well, I totally agree with you, Mr. Hazem Hassan, the tourism expert. I'd like to thank you so much for your informative call. Well, moving to another topic where the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Health and Population, Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, has discussed with a delegation from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development ways for joint cooperation in developing health facilities and expanding investments for the health sector. This comes within the framework of the state's plan to upgrade medical infrastructure and improve the quality of services provided to citizens. The meeting took place on the sidelines of the third edition of the Global Congress on Population, Health and Human Development, PHDC 25, held under the patronage of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi under the theme Empowering Individuals, Enhancing Progress, providing opportunities from November 12th to 15th. During the meeting, Abdel Ghaffar affirmed the state's commitment to enhancing partnerships with major international institutions. He also pointed out that the Ministry of Health is implementing an integrated plan that includes establishing new hospitals in urban expansion areas and developing and rehabilitating existing hospitals by upgrading the infrastructure and providing them with advanced equipment, therapy, boosting operational efficiency and raising the quality of health care. The minister reviewed with the EBRD delegation the available investment opportunities in national health sector projects.